Super Mario 3D All-Stars should have been my dream game. I mean, it's a collection of 3 of the greatest Mario games of all time. It's something I have been clamoring for years on end now. I mean, look at it. You've got Super Mario 64, probably one of the most influential games of all time. I mean, sure, in 2020 things are looking a bit outdated, but in 1996 that polygonal suspender covered ass was revolutionary. Then you hop over to Super Mario Sunshine, in my opinion, the Skyward Sword of the Mario series. It went for something different and people didn't necessarily vibe with that. Personally, I have not played it myself. It's always been a black mark on my Nintendo nerd card. However, Super Mario Galaxy, the best Mario game, hands down. I don't care what anyone says. 2 was a glorified expansion pack. This was the 3D Mario I had as a kid, and I have for years now been praying to my boy Doug Bowser in hopes that I will be able to relive it without digging out my chewed up Wiimote. The announcement really felt like a childhood Christmas miracle. I was finally going to be able to experience these games on a modern console with modern controls. By this point you might be thinking, so what's the fucking problem, Fabu? Everything about this sounds fan-fucking-tastic. Honestly, it's a really simple answer. March 31st, 2021.
Hey, good morning.
Why are there 6 people outside who say they're waiting to meet with me?
Every time someone calls and requests a meeting with you, I always schedule it for March 31st.
Why?
Because I didn't think March 31st existed.
So then how many meetings do I have today?
93.
Super Mario 3D All-Stars will launch on September 18th. A limited-run retail edition and a digital edition of the game will be available for a limited time until the end of March 2021. Pre-orders will be available starting today on Nintendo eShop.
On March 31st, 2021, Super Mario 3D All-Stars will be unavailable for purchase. It will be delisted from digital storefronts and physical cartridges will be unavailable. The game isn't even out yet. It releases on September 18th. From the day of recording, that is in 7 days. This game releases in 7 days, but it already has an expiration date. I already know I will not be able to purchase it on April 1st, 2021. That is absolute bullshit.
I was hoping you'd be cool about this.
Oh, really? You thought I might be cool, Mr. Backwards Hat? Is this cool, huh? To do this, maybe?
I don't know.
Kiss my piss. Kiss my piss.
Now, if this applied only to physical cartridges, then I would have no qualms with this. I mean, despite my preference for collecting physical games, I always knew in the back of my head that it was only a matter of time before we started to see developers and publishers put less and less of an emphasis on physical games. So with that said, keep in mind that my disgust with Nintendo has nothing to do with them limiting physical copies, because that just makes perfect sense to me, business-wise at least. But there is no good consumer-friendly reason to just delist a game. To plan to delist a game, to let your consumers know, hey, you only have 6 months to purchase this game. So why would they do this? Because, I mean, there has to be a reason. Of course, Nintendo is not going to tell us why. But I feel it's pretty obvious what's going on here. And it all has to do with March 31st. You see, March 31st is typically the end of the fiscal year. It's a big reason why when a game gets delayed, there's a pretty good chance it will end up in March. So essentially what Nintendo is doing here is they are putting a time limit on the game in order to get as many purchases in that very small window as possible to boost up their year-end earnings. Now, I get that Nintendo is a company. They have shareholders to report to. They have deadlines to meet. They want to turn this already historic year for Nintendo because honestly, it has been a bonkers year for them. They've had Animal Crossing. They've had the Switch sold out throughout the pandemic. They've had Ring Fit Adventure also sold out throughout the pandemic. They're not really hurting for money, but I do understand that they want to make as much as possible to be as impressive as possible, especially against next-gen consoles coming out just about when this game is happening.
Richard, what's wrong? Have you been crying? Hey! Which one was it? It was church candy, wasn't it? You just brought piss to a shit fight, you little... You get in your fucking house and you get me 5 Adderall, or I'll slit your fucking throat. You understand?
But the big problem I have is that this is not just some quick little gimmick. Nintendo isn't incentivizing people to buy this game by March 31st. Nintendo is forcing you to buy it by saying, hey, buy it right now or you will never be able to. It is as anti-consumer as it can get. They're preying on my nostalgia for Mario Galaxy and the memories I have with Mario in order to get me to buy this right now. I mean, it almost worked, to be honest. They want me to feel like I'm gonna miss out on a piece of my childhood because they want that fear to guide my hand to my wallet. I ask anyone who might be listening to this, do not let Nintendo control when you buy their products. Nintendo is a company like any other, and while they might frame this as a one-time arrangement, I don't know a single corporation that would turn up their nose at a new way to maximize profit, whether they're led by a mouse or by a plumber. Sometimes I think we forget just how young the gaming industry truly is, and with that youth comes volatility and change. While this March 31st expiration date debacle might just seem like a trivial one-time annoyance, it could very easily become a norm if we pump enough money into it. I mean, we thought it was no big deal in 1993 when a couple soccer moms complained about Mortal Kombat, but that incident ended up birthing the ESRB. If Nintendo can just pull a game, then so can EA, and so can Activision. And we already have enough problems with video game preservation. We don't want to deal with them just delisting games. I am an absolutely massive Scott Pilgrim fan, and I have never once been able to play the video game because it was delisted back in 2014 thanks to some licensing issues. I mean, that's a whole video game just gone, just unavailable to me because I wasn't aware that it existed at the time. Luckily, Ubisoft is re-releasing the game later this year, but things like this just should not happen. People's work, their art, their passions should not just be able to disappear for no good reason. Now I get sometimes this will be unavoidable. There are massive webs of licensing agreements and a bunch of legal mumbo jumbo that I just will never be able to wrap my head around. But that doesn't make it any less painful to see a game just disappear. I love Nintendo, I grew up as a Nintendo fanboy, but seeing them do something as anti-consumer as this really breaks my heart. Honestly, I would love nothing more than to see this fail. It's not just because of the whole March 31st thing. This release is honestly also a kind of a slap in the face. I mean, we're getting 3 ports. We're not getting remakes, we're not getting remasters. We're getting 3 ports with modern controls, sure. Sure, we're gonna be able to play them on the go on the Switch, but this is gonna be a $50, $60 release. I don't exactly remember the price point, but it's gonna be just about a full price game with almost no work done to it. Whereas Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy came out for $40 and was a full from the ground up remake. Same with the Spyro Trilogy. Same with Tony Hawk Pro Skaters 1 and 2. Nintendo understands what they can get out of their fans. They understand the minimum effort they have to put in to get us to purchase something. We need to demand more effort. But I'm just a guy on the internet in front of his computer screaming about video games. What do I know? I mean, I just play the damn things, right? But that's honestly really all I have to say about this. What do you guys think about this whole debacle? Do you think I'm being a little too hard on Nintendo? Or maybe I'm not being hard enough? I think I might not be I don't think I'm being hard enough, to be honest. Anyways, I gotta go, I got some more Astral Chain to play, so I will see you guys soon. Hopefully, you guys will be seeing a lot more of me in your subscription feeds. So until next time, video games are fucking rad.